for you.
Here's the thing. You don't even have to message me because I already know that women that have high body counts have mental problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very true, and it's important to say this to their face that they are mentally ill. You're a broken female. If you sell yourself for less than a Chipotle burrito, or if you sell yourself for any price whatsoever, you're broken. Most women know this, of course, but this here is a showcase of what the left demands. It creates this. This is the end product in the most fringe scenario of what the left does, where every single word of every single sentence of that an obese woman says is required to be the opposite of the truth, or an attractive one, but one that whores herself.
Me, on the other hand,
he says everything like 2 or 3 times to get them to acknowledge a simple statement, because objective facts are offensive to women. So really what they're doing is they're just gauging what they can get away with in a psychopathic manner, because that's how a psychopath functions. It's been a long time since I've seen something this utterly degenerate. It's truly interesting, and I mean maybe even interesting on a scientific level, why liberal feminist women, when triggered, say the opposite of the truth. They invert truth, meaning they take something that is coherent, logical, and tenable intellectually, and then they go out of their way to invert it, to say the opposite of it, in a way that promotes, in its essence, moral relativism and cognitive dissonance. So basically an aversion to all things good and coherent, and this is a problem because this type of fever grips many women's psyches.
Indian.
Like black what? I'm confused.
It don't matter.
This girl's questioning Myron about him being black. I'll start the video here because it's a good place to start. It's an incoherent thing that she's doing.
No, we would
because Myron is from Sudan. He's black.
like to know. You're asking us questions.
Yeah,
we would like to get to know you. We're in your home.
We're all niggas, bro. We're all niggas.
This is the beginning of the show where they ask the girls what is their ethnicity.
We're all niggas,
What's on
man.
your ID?
African American.
Yeah.
Same as yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Anyhow. Yeah. Are your parents together?
No.
Birth control.
No.
No.
All right.
Do you have any kids or no?
Yes, I have a kid.
Yo, stereotypes. yo.
So Myron makes a bunch of funny jokes, and then the girls get triggered. I'll fast forward.
Hilarious, and it's for the guys to understand and learn how female psychology is. That's why we do it. I enjoy doing more political commentary and other shit like that. But when I talk with women, you know, a lot of the times you guys just are not capable of having rational, logically sound conversations that we said before.
And this is about to be proven.
If we can't even agree that a patriarchy is a success to any society, she's complaining about the patriarchy when she benefits from the patriarchy, then we don't even have a foundation to have a conversation. And I'm disappointed that you have a master's degree and you're not able to analyze this stuff.
Facts.
Makes it even worse.
Yeah, facts.
No, masters in dick.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. And blowjobs.
Yo, bro.
We have some women here that have like degrees and are educated and still can't like analyze.
Their brains actually can't parse information because parsing information coherently is considered oppressive.
Like female privilege and the reality. I'm just like, what the fuck is going? Like what?
Yeah. But in any case, thank you for coming. All right.
And they have all this money, millions saved, bought some real estate, set for life, but they still can't find a guy.
By the time I get older, it's going to be even more normalized.
I think you're generalizing.
They need to go out
It's
the
going to
country.
get more,
Also,
way
how
more
old are you?
normalized.
Have you found the love of your life?
These girls are completely brain dead, yeah. So I can dissect every single thing that they say. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible just so that we don't go on for too long. So let's I'll play it again.
Generalizing.
They need to go out the country.
By the time I get older, it's going to be even more normalized.
So actually, no, as you get older, you will be more anxious, more depressed if you are single and childless, especially if you're whoring yourself. Those women experience the highest levels of anxiety.
I think you're generalizing.
They need to go out the
So
country.
generalizations based on data are how we understand the world, not on anecdotal bases.
Also,
way
how
more
old are you?
normalized.
Have
So Myron's age has nothing to do with the system because men and women are not the same and play by completely different rules, and women are different psychologically.
you found the love of your life?
So men trying to find the love of their life is not how they orient themselves in the world. This woman is taking the female value hierarchy and trying to impose it on men, when men's job is not to find the love of their life. That is a woman's job because that is how her future is determined. That's not how a man's future is determined. A man builds his own future via business, making money, increasing status, increasing competence, etc.
I think you're in
So you're going to see how repeatedly wrong these women are over and over
a
again.
lot more trouble than we are. Not gonna
I'm in
lie.
trouble?
Yeah,
How am I in trouble? Go ahead, tell me. How am I in trouble?
just from how you are as a person.
Okay,
Holding women accountable is triggering to these women, and there is no difference in their mind between holding them accountable and being wrong. There is no concept in their head of objective truth, logic, or reason.
Tell me how I'm in trouble specifically. Go ahead.
We're gonna be here till 5 a.m.
For real.
Yeah,
It's
it doesn't really matter. Like,
No,
Right.
Wait, why would we be here till 5 a.m.? Why? Because I have that many problems? Is that what it is?
No, no,
Yeah?
no.
No, you're just trying to
Because
say
we're
we're
just
not
like
gonna find a
keep
man.
discussing more things. No, not because of you.
No. I mean,
I'm just
it's fine. I'm just saying, like,
So I know
she made that claim, so I'm
discussion.
asking her, can you tell me
Substantiate it, right? Yeah, take responsibility for your own words. She can't do that.
how? I have more problems. Go ahead.
Because you have this podcast where you just spread hate and have your little cult.
So keep in mind that this woman has to function in society, and it's very difficult, not only for her but for society. That we have to pick up the weight of this woman.
That backs you up with everything you say.
That's true.
Okay.
Reality is offensive to these people. It ruins them.
I spread hate. I spread hate.
Who came first? You or Andrew Tate? Who came first? Or you guys came together?
That's
We've
funny.
definitely come
Andrew
together a
Tate.
lot of times.
What was that?
You
Are
come
you-
together.
Oh, they were at the same time.
They come.
Wait, Andrew Tate.
You see how women worship degeneracy? This is how their brains function.
I'm not saying like I'm saying who started.
I'm just letting it play because it's actually so wretched.
Okay,
Every single word that they say ruins women's image.
that's all I wanted to know.
So anyway, so I spread hate. What else?
That's it.
That's
The
it, yeah.
racism, the monkey
it.
comments, the colorist
So this is where it starts.
stuff. It's very hateful, very negative.
Okay.
But I understand because at the same time you are a creator and you can't have people in your comments going off on you and you just said, okay, like I understand you're gonna crash out sometimes and defend yourself.
So this Gen Z term, crash out, I'm Gen Z, by the way, silly term because it actually doesn't mean anything. Much like most of the terms that Gen Z adopted, they're basically trying to mirror low resolution understandings of concepts. So
He's
But-
capitalizing off of
explaining objective reality to women who are degenerate and deny truth is actually the highest form of good you can do when interacting with a female.
this.
Yeah,
This is
as
the
you should, I
concept that they
suppose,
want.
right?
They
See,
want this.
Like you're gonna crash out, you're gonna crash out. That's
See,
not
I
your
find
fault.
it interesting that telling the truth is considered hate now. If I tell women, just being fair and honest here,
And this is your opinion, by
That-
the way.
So no, objective truth has nothing to do with personal opinion. We can understand and make statements objectively about women's nature using psychology, neurochemistry, and biology.
This is your feelings, your opinion, how you.
So she knows that her own way of interfacing with the world, being feelings, is invalid and counterfeit and worthless. And so rather than taking responsibility for that, which would impute her responsibility to engage with objective reality and logic and reason, not just lies, but inverse truth, saying that Myron's statements are based on feelings, which is actually what makes everything she's saying incoherent and wrong. So this is how the left preys on women when they call people to invert truth.
feel.
Yes.
Okay.
you didn't even hear what I was gonna say.
You just.
We just know.
Yeah.
We just
You just
know.
know.
Okay, go.
Yo,
Go ahead.
yeah, spew
This
it.
is not, this is
here.
not a adult way of engaging with people. And something you're going to see repeated in the next couple minutes is these women actually don't know how to engage with people as adults. You'll see what I'm saying in a moment.
You know, see how she said this is your opinion and his feelings, and she didn't even know what I was gonna say.
Yep.
I think we're all just tired.
Yeah.
So making excuses for other women's degeneracy
Well,
after she voiced degeneracy vocally.
I mean, stop.
And we
talking
didn't get offered any snacks.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're not turning up. Like
I'm gonna play that one more time.
Well, I mean, stop.
And we
talking
didn't get offered any snacks.
that's what I'm saying. Like we're not turning up. Like
She is saying the reason she's not making sense is because she wasn't offered any snacks. You know, so quite literally acting like a 5-year-old after voicing degeneracy. And they want to be treated as equals. This is the reason why women are held back in society, because behavior like this is not eviscerated constantly. It's being eviscerated here, but it needs to be eviscerated constantly in culture. Like women need to be bullied for this.
I think we're all just tired.
yeah.
Well, I mean, stop.
And we
talking
didn't get offered any snacks.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're not turning up. Like
No
it's-
liquor, no nothing. Like
nothing. Like it's-
She's complaining she wasn't offered liquor and snacks.
they
You
just
got
feed
juice.
us
You got
water.
juice.
And juice.
You know, it's
It's
interesting because right, you say it, you make a comment, and then I say, can you explain said comment? And you can't explain the comment.
You told me to explain myself just now because
No, I
I
was
said
asking her to explain herself about
Oh.
how it's problematic, and then you went ahead and you said because I say racism or some shit like that, or no, she said I'm hateful.
the colorist
Yeah.
and the monkey comments.
So here's the thing:
and-
I'm very
Women aren't actually able to engage in reality. This is a serious problem for this century. I've made several videos on this topic, and this is a problem women are going to have to overcome. Either decide to be treated equally, or they're going to have to come to some sort of understanding about how to interface with the world that they find tenable.
honest.
That's objective, of course.
I tell the truth, and sometimes the truth sounds crazy or hateful in a world full of lies. What I was gonna say was
The
that
fact that these women don't realize that they're living wretched lives where they are called to invert truth is insane. But this is the inevitable outcome of women staying single, is they tend to gravitate like a bunch of mass around a singularity. They tend to gravitate towards anti-truth and degeneracy because the feminine energy is chaos, and without order, it naturally goes to the inverse of reality. So this is a problem. I mean, this girl, she said, had a master's degree. Like, this is, and she's vocalizing pure degeneracy.
being honest here, most men, the most important thing that men look for when they deal with a girl is looks and virtue. And typically, the more money and success a man has, the more he cares about
Looks
virtue.
and what?
Virtue.
What is that?
Like money.
This is another
She wants to
opinion.
She
know-
doesn't know what the word virtue is.
Tell her
Okay.
what
It's not
it
her
is.
fault. It's her second.
No, this is actually an objective fact. Men, the higher status they are, tend to value looks and virtue above all else. This is the reason why the most beautiful women in the world are with the highest status men in the world, because the highest status men in the world are more rare than the women, therefore they have the leverage. And so this is how we're able to tell.
What is that?
Like money.
This is another
She wants to
opinion
know,
of
tell her
his.
what
It's not her
is.
fault. It's her second language.
Virtue. So when I say virtue, right, a man doesn't want a girl that's promiscuous. It is what it is when it comes to a serious relationship.
Yo.
So when I'm telling you, hey, like, you guys are going to have a very difficult time finding a man to take you seriously based on your profession.
Why?
And then you say, oh, well, I'm young right now and I'm making money. I don't care. And then I give you
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all, right?
an example of someone that's in your field, that's more successful than you, then has more time in, and they're crying every day saying, I can't find a guy, and if I could turn the fucking clock back, I would. You said that's your opinion.
Well,
I don't know.
when I get to
Is it
It's an objective fact, psychologically speaking, that the more women age while being promiscuous and rejecting the notions of virtue, the more their anxiety increases because they're going against their biology, and they're lowering the probability of them ever finding a mate and having kids, which increases anxiety, because the purpose of anxiety is to signal to the being, to the person, that they're doing something wrong. And so every single day, every single moment of every single day, these women are doing something wrong, so they become very anxious. This
28,
is the reason why they're all on antidepressants.
I will message you and be like, you know what, you were so right.
Nice manifesto for you.
Problems
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
This
have a high
is-
body count?
that women.
I read a nice
Apologize.
manifesto for you.
Here's the thing.
Oh, yeah?
You don't even have to message me because I already know that women that have high body counts have mental problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very true, and it's important to say this to their face, that they are mentally ill. You're a broken female. If you sell yourself for less than a Chipotle burrito, or if you sell yourself for any price whatsoever, you're broken. Most women know this, of course, but this here is a showcase of what the left demands. It creates this. This is the end product in the most fringe scenario of what the left does, where every single word of every single sentence of that an obese woman says is required to be the opposite of the truth, or an attractive woman, but one that whores herself.
Do you have a high body count?
I do have mental problems, to be
What's
fair.
your body count then?
Emotional
Fake
damage.
girl.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. Yeah, girl.
What about when men do a high body count?
Let me ask you this question then, just so I can make sure I understand this correctly. Do you think promise?
Notice that the girl sitting next to Myron still hasn't substantiated her claims that Myron is hateful in any way, because she isn't acclimated with the notion of taking responsibility for the words that she says, because she's a female. So given that her resentment for reality stems from her resentment for its internal objectivism, she finds no need to take responsibility for the words that she says. Her brain fundamentally doesn't function.
Promiscuity affects men the same way as women?
Sorry?
You asked me my body count, right?
Yeah.
Do you think promiscuity affects men the same way it affects women?
I don't know.
So he's diving deep onto one topic here just to prove that she doesn't know what she's talking about. Yeah. So men sleeping with women has not the same psychological effect on men as women sleeping with men.
I don't really care.
I think it does. Yeah.
Her response is she doesn't really care in response to her saying a statement. So she just admitted that what she said has no bearing to reality in her mind. And also she doesn't care about the words that she says.
Oh, you don't care?
Energy wise.
Yeah, it's
No,
like an
okay.
energy exchange.
The only way to deal with women like this is to enforce consequences, and that's exactly what's about to happen.
It's
Yeah.
very spiritual.
Okay. Yo, spiritual.
I'll make it simple for you.
He's going to make it even more simple.
How many kids can you have per year?
One.
How many kids can I have per year?
Yeah,
As many as you want.
you could be the next Elon Musk and just impregnate
You
whatever.
can't even pronounce Elon Musk's name for her.
Okay, fair enough. What's more expensive, eggs or sperm?
So she thinks that giving an instant answer here will benefit her, because she thinks, oh my gosh, if I say eggs are more expensive, that means women are better. But then she gets trapped.
Eggs.
Eggs.
So therefore, you need to be considerate of who you share that egg with, right?
Logical step.
No.
So the degenerate woman says the opposite of the truth at any opportunity.
What do you mean by that, though? Like, elaborate.
If you can only have one child per year,
So what she's saying is she doesn't want to face the fact that she faces higher consequences for sex than men do, which is an objective fact. Women, and this is a study field in psychology and biology, and there's literally endless scientific literature on the fact that women pay a higher price for intimacy than men do. And this is obviously easily understood. So she says the opposite of the truth because, again, reality is her enemy. I want you to understand that women who are on the left are called to deny reality on some level. It doesn't matter if she's, casually a liberal or if she's a full leftist. Most people are full leftists now that find themselves on the left or, find themselves wrapped up in the lies of Marxism and the resentment for reality. But this is the end result. This is what they're called to do, to invert truth.
That means you probably want to be selective on who you have that child with. Fair? Gotcha, bitch. Me, on the other hand,
he says everything like 2 or 3 times to get them to acknowledge a simple statement because objective facts are offensive to women. So really what they're doing is they're just gauging what they can get away with in a psychopathic manner because that's how a psychopath functions.
if sperm is cheap, I can just throw it all over the place, right?
Yep.
Ew.
Face.
Right?
Gross.
Notice their response was ew rather than correct.
Yeah, like you can
Ass.
afford that child support.
Well,
Swallow.
That's not
That's called a red herring. Child support has nothing to do with the
the
conversation.
point of the
Swallow.
example here.
all right, but
The point I'm trying to make is that since eggs are expensive, women have to be more selective. Since sperm is cheap, men don't have to be as selective. So in other words, it's God's way of saying, look, women, don't be 304s, because if you do, it's going to come with some fucking problems. So most girls that I've realized that have high body counts have mental problems.
That's an objective fact. It doesn't revolve around anyone's observations. It's just that's just a scientifically studied reality. More sexual partners a woman has on average means lower her self-esteem is, which means there's a whole host of other psychological issues.
Depression, anxiety, they're on some type of medication.
yeah.
They have issues. Men, on the other hand, promiscuity doesn't affect us the same. So your question, what's your body count? As if we're equal, we're not. If I have 100 body count, that's going to affect me significantly differently than if you have 100 body
It's
count.
actually an inverse relationship. Yeah, that's a cool part. Is that the higher a man's body count is, the higher his status, generally speaking, or the higher his relative competence in various hierarchies. Whereas a woman's value decreases the more body she has.
But
I'm
do
a
you
man.
want to answer the
You're a woman.
question?
That's ridiculous.
What is
Wait,
right
what?
there?
That wasn't the
question.
Notice there's no brain cells going on behind her eyes.
You just went off topic. I just
There's nothing going on.
asked you what is your body count.
Yeah,
And
but
you just
you're
had the whole
Body
speech.
count men and women
You
too.
asked us, we're asking
Not just
you.
women.
Sure,
But you're
I'll
ask-
answer the question, but I want to make it extremely clear that me having a high body count is not the same as you having a high body count.
Okay.
It's definitely
so-
equal.
No,
It's not equal, actually, objectively. So that's the equivalent of saying the Earth is flat. If you believe that men and women pay equal consequences or are anywhere near the same in terms of the results of dating or having sex,
That's ridiculous right there.
Awesome.
In your opinion.
Cool.
Yes.
right? Because everything to a woman is subjective. This is the reason why culture was held hostage until we elected Trump to enforce consequences on these people.
Okay. Is it easier for a man to get laid or a woman to get laid?
Well, the men can just stumble into like a
Raise of
dive bar or
hands,
a
raise
strip
of hands
club
to
and
make
go
this
pay
simple.
for it.
Is it easier for men to get sex or women? If you think it's easier for men to get sex, raise your hand.
So the most degenerate women.
Really?
Yeah.
Men are
I don't
easy.
think
Men are very easy. Y'all open y'all legs real easily.
Yeah, y'all easy.
So notice again the inversion of truth there, using a reference that applies to women, pretending as though it applies to men. So the deliberate warfare on reality, the inversion of degeneracy. So claiming that the people that she criticizing are guilty of her degeneracy.
open your legs.
Yeah, that's
He's
what you have to
saying-
do to get the
he's
dick out, ain't
saying
it?
How, like, is it easier for us, like, say we're horny, right? Anybody's gonna want to come over. Like,
He's giving
fuck
up
it.
his
She's really made herself look bad.
gray hairs
But
or
like,
multiplying.
man,
He's
if
stressed
he's
out.
horny, sometimes he doesn't
No,
have
because you're
that,
fucking
you
dumb.
know.
That's why.
I know, and I'm getting a rise out of you out
are
of it. I'm
literally
literally
dumb.
playing
No,
a
actually, millions of people are seeing you as one of the most low IQ women on the face of the planet.
character, and
No,
you're,
there's no
you're
character.
enjoying
I
it.
love
Your character is fucking idiomatomous because you're a fucking idiot. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm an idiot for
The
sure.
question
Yeah.
was,
Idiomatomous?
is it
What was the
easier
word?
Careful, Patrick.
for
Careful.
men? Is it easier for men to get laid or women? Which one is it easier to get laid?
Really low quality woman. The thing, it's sad that society can produce people like this that are that broken, this lost. It's truly tragic.
And then you said men, and then you made the argument that it's easy for them to open their legs.
A woman.
What?
Woman.
I didn't say that it was
Okay.
easier. I said you guys open your legs very easily.
Women do
And
that.
then once you bust a nut,
Well,
you're like, oh,
depends.
post nut clarity. Oh, I should never fuck this girl.
it's easier for women to get laid.
The
Yeah.
reason I'm allowing this degeneracy to play on my channel is so that you understand this is actually how the left forces women to operate when it fully possesses them. It's like a demon. It's like when a demon fully possesses somebody in a movie like The Exorcist. This woman is functionally possessed by the resentment for reality that Marxism demands of her. And so this is the reason why every single word that comes out of her mouth is degenerate, perverse, disgusting, wretched, and perverted.
They have to do it. You know, they don't know what it
Okay,
is.
Pussy,
hold on,
like-
hold on, hold on.
So you can have your legs together and have sex. I don't believe that. You have to open your
All right,
legs.
just stop. Just stop talking for 2 seconds. Just stop.
Well, I was talking to her,
Like,
actually.
well, you're not going to talk when I'm talking. If you're going to speak, it needs to be
Notice
something.
her face as she was held accountable there. The gleeful smile that she was showing while inverting reality faded away the moment she was held accountable. This is a microcosm of how I say it's very important to hold these women accountable, and this is what the solution is.
Well, I was talking to her,
Like,
actually.
well, you're not going to talk when I'm talking. If you're going to speak, it needs to be something like actually intellectually engaging that isn't hurting the quality of the show, because you're just talking and it hurts the quality of the show, and the chat's getting annoyed. Here's the thing. If it's easy to do, no one respects it. Earlier, you mentioned that you have a master's degree, right? Why did you say that you have a master's degree?
I can't remember what we were talking about. I don't know.
Women want to be treated equally to men.
That's what happens when things get boring. People zone out.
Yo, get the fuck off the show, bro. Get the fuck.
She gets kicked out for being disrespectful, yeah. So she pays the consequences, not only of being seen by a lot of people as a total degenerate, and she's going to be mocked and bullied for the rest of her life as a result of this appearance. It'll be the biggest appearance of her life. But also she loses out on the ability to redeem herself on that same platform with lots of people watching. So this is important. And scorn and shame are very important tools for women, because when a degenerate female rejects reality and tells herself that it's oppression, the only thing left is the social aspect. So when she gets bullied endlessly in her DMs for the next 3 years in a row, it sends a message that she did something wrong. The female brain, as it is illogical, may not understand or be able to parse information or understand or take accountability for what she did, but the fact that she has to pay the consequences for what she did is very important.
Okay, I will. Bye.
Get the fuck up out of here, bro.
She talks like a degenerate.
Later. Have a good night.
Mute her mic. Get her the fuck out of here, bro.
We're done.
Bye.
Let's hit the club.
All right, you can leave
One of the
too.
lowest quality women to walk the earth.
Oh, you came together?
Oh, yeah, we were leaving.
That explains everything.
We were leaving.
All right.
Makes sense.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Thank you for coming.
Can we go?
3 down.
3? All right, we got more space at the table.
Yo, he's making
That's
earthquake
good.
noises.
Yo.
I just want to get to the question part of
Yeah,
what the
let's
girls
go.
wrote. I'm just waiting
Let's
for that.
go to
Can you just get to
question.
that part?
Wait, are these?
It's going to be a really beautiful thing when these women are 60 years old, single and childless, because they will have realized that they've made all the wrong choices. But the beautiful part is that even if they don't realize that, they still pay the consequences for that. So they're going to blame the patriarchy. But all these degenerate women are literally going to be 65 years old one day. Think about that. Never before has a generation of 65-year-old women ever been this low IQ, this degenerate, this perverse, this reprehensible, this morally bankrupt, this intellectually vacuous. It's never happened. But these women are going to be 65 one day, and they will pay the consequences of being miserable and single and childless and high in anxiety and years of antidepressants. And they will resent the young, hot, beautiful, feminine women that were not degenerate and didn't sell themselves on the internet for less than a Chipotle burrito.
We're almost there. We're almost
Are they
there.
leaving too?
Yeah.
England? You
Yeah.
guys leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Later.
Okay, just get to the questions part because
Almost
I
there,
wrote
almost
it
there.
really cute.
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah. Well, we lit. It's
Can't
us,
wait.
it's
All
us
right.
four.
We got you guys.
We got it.
Probably one of the lowest quality panels that we've seen in several months, but I wanted to show this to you so you understand. My generation is facing, and these women are older than my generation. So the girls that are in my generation, it's even worse in some cases. Some cases, not all cases. Obviously, there are good girls. I understand that. But these women are like 35. They're like 30. It's really, really, it's gotten bad. It's gotten bad for, I mean, the thing is, the reason why it's gotten so bad for women is because there's no model developed in society for instantly correcting this female degeneracy. It's very rare for them to face consequences this instantly. Most of the consequences for women are delayed. It's great that they're being kicked off the show. That's an immediate consequence. But most of the time that doesn't happen. Whereas men, like, I don't have to feel embarrassed for other degenerate men that say low IQ stuff are degenerates, because we all judge each other brutally. We put each other in jail. We outcompete each other. We make fun of each other. And we use logic, reason, rationality. And if any of us don't do that, then we immediately bully the person that doesn't use logic, reason, rationality. We call them feminine. We mock them. We point out the fact they can't accept reality, that they can't compete properly, that they're basically beta, that they're failed. Whereas that doesn't exist for women. Like, there's how can someone tell a difference between that girl sitting at the table, just from a purely visual standpoint, and a girl who's raised Christian? It's very difficult to tell. Very difficult. And a culture that allows that to happen, you know, especially women, it's very sad.
Yeah. It's what it is, bro.
Yo, chat. It's like right. It's like,
You know
yo,
what, bro?
Chris,
Yeah. All the girls leave, bro. All y'all get the fuck out of here,
No,
bro.
read the question.
No, all y'all get out of here, bro. Just get out of here.
Guys.
I interrupt this programming to tell you to click the link in description, scroll down and become a member, and support what I'm doing here since YouTube is demonetized rather than supporting these OnlyFans whores so that you can stand against the degenerate forces of degeneracy and back instead what I'm doing here. Because it's very important that we defend humanity.